Okay, gotcha. I'm trying to, yeah, it's completely. Mr. Starzl, I always wanted to meet you, but I didn't quite know what I would say whenever we met. My girlfriend, Janny. That's not her name. My girlfriend, Janny, always said, life is like a campus full of panthers. You never know when one's going to think like a cop. Get it? No? You don't smoke, do you, Mr. Starzl? Never? Once at band camp. Nothing. Artist. Nice to meet you. Thank you for your service, sir. Don't forget our choice.
Okay. Yes, we're internationally known. You know that song? Internationally known? Whoever did that song, okay? Look, man. The world don't stop. Everybody has a bad day. So do I. When I have a bad day, I'm going to let it be known about. But I'm going to do it in my way. Period. We all heard about your bad day before. We showed you sympathy. We showed you love. We gave you money. We gave you flowers. You're not everybody. Okay? You're not everybody. Okay? Now, back to Donnie's day. Okay? AKA D-Day. Stand by. Those three actors from the 90s. One of them died. I think it was River Phoenix. The other two, one was like severely depressed, but during the 90s, guys were coming out talking about all that crazy Hollywood deviant stuff. Guy actors. Yo, listen, it wasn't just Macaulay Culkin. The childhood stars were talking about how jacked up people are. That's what that movie Stand By Me was about. Lord of the Flies. They weren't just talking about Hollywood. They were talking about the music industry, and they were also talking about police reform. Notice the scene with the pig in the movie The Lord of the Flies. Notice the scene in the movie with the pig. I'm not talking about the police officer. I'm talking about they killed a pig. And they ate it. I also work on Wall Street. If you're mad because you can't get a job, it's because maybe you're not filling out the application correctly. I'm not the hiring manager of any society. I'm just a part of a society that I was born into. Okay? Stop hating, Doug. Stop being a hater. It's not going to solve your problems. The key to getting anywhere in life is humbleness and soak up game that you don't know. You can't cause anybody to fumble that just won't fumble. Be quiet. Or blow it. Or blow it. It's called Stand By Me. Because here's the thing, man. If you got so much frustration with yourself, stop sharing it with people where you're not getting nothing out of it. Monetize your channel and take it to your channel and get your fans to support you. Where your followers at? Where are your followers? All right? So the point of what I'm saying is this, all right? Get a following. Because when you get a following, your people will do what you don't have to do, all right? People is weird. So all I'm saying is, this is very much so needed because this is the reason why I started the Young Othellos, the whole Young Othello's drama club, all right? When you watch the movie Step It Up, like, this little clip was like my outro clip, all right? It is still the outro clip. I am exiting stage left. I got class to do. There was static. I couldn't hear, like, my phone had static for a second. When you watch Step It Up, and when you watch Drumline, or any movie based on college, or even Power or Empire, right? You notice how there's always there's two things that you're gonna encounter in college that were neutralizing the situation, so it's easy. So you go through it like a butter knife and not a jagged edge. Okay. School rivalry, student organization rivalry, frat rivalry, sorority rivalry, communal rivalry, right? This even happens after you graduate. Like, people think, like, obviously there's gang rivalry, but what it's known when you live in middle class America, Main Street, it's known as tribal. Like, tribal, you know what I mean? You ever read a newspaper called the Tribune? You should. Because tribes aren't just for indigenous people, third world countries. Modern people in this world use the word tribal a lot. They just use it in a different way. So this is the point. That and the sibling rivalry. And I've been tackling this issue the whole time. Okay? So that's all. Check out the Instagram feed. Stand by me. Or not stand by me, stand by. And it's for you, the potential people that's going to be candidates like, yo, I will build with you. I will politic with you. I will. And I'm pretty sure you're probably thinking the same thing, like, yo, I could poly with this guy. I could, you know what I mean? Like I could totally, I see, like, yeah, we can network. And then you don't have to feel like when you come to Pitt or Pittsburgh, whether you're here just on business or you're here to go to school or you're here visiting, that it's such a awkward time that it is for most people because of the economic climate, which is not bad, okay? It's not. It's the stage. This is the stage for what is actually going to be for like 30 years straight. We're in this moment that's just like, it's the mist. Like, obviously, like, you know what I mean? Like, it hasn't settled. Like, people are like, well, what's it going to be like when Trump gets in office? And this is weird, what's going on, with, the way everything is just, settling. Is it going to be 4 years of all this, high energy? Or is it going to be really, like, cool, like, all right, like, know what I mean? Look at the leaderboard. You got Elon Musk. You got, obviously, Trump. You got all the billionaires and the millionaires and the people that are just now, they came into their millions. But you got entertainers, you got athletes. You got a lot on the world stage when it comes to our nation, especially Pittsburgh. We got a great roster with the Steelers. Our wrestling team is solid with Pitt. It's a lot of promising things, you know what I mean? So as long as you're not in the grayish, really blackish gray, when it comes to energy vibes, right? You know, when if you're a vibrant thing, then you're excited because even though it looks like, you know what I mean? We could always be like, well, at least we got a great guy like Elon Musk up there, you know, coming up with all the ideas that there's nothing in this world that could go wrong, that all the brilliant minds like him aren't on top of it. They already got an invention. NASA is still number one. USA will always be number one. Our armed forces will never let any country invade. You know, Trump is not backing down from any invading powers. You know, like, it's all cool. You know, the music industry sucks, but it doesn't really. It's just like the new era of hip-hop is coming into himself. Like, Tupac had to make like 5 albums before he made All Eyes on Me and Me Against the World. Biggie was rapping forever before he came out with Ready to Die. You know, Jay-Z was rapping forever before all of that. The Locks or whatever. So just because, you know, the era is kind of, you know, fading to black or whatever is happening, you know, we lost violently some artists that we really, really love. There were some overdoses every year. No matter what, hip-hop is always going to be good. Top 40 is always going to be good. Taylor Swift still putting out hits, killing the airwaves. Lady Gaga, whoever, all the prominent names are still prominent. You know, Kanye may be going through his thing, but the Kardashians are still the same Kardashians. Jersey Shore is still running things. New York Housewives, New Jersey, everything is the same. Atlanta Housewives, Miami Ink. Nothing changed. The game is still putting out great albums. Snoop Dogg up there chilling with Martha Stewart. Wiz Khalifa still dropping great albums. Everything is still great. You know what I mean? It's just people get caught up in beefs. And these crowds be at parties where other people are like, dude, like beef, like, what are you talking about? Like, oh, what do you think is gonna happen during the Drake and the Kendrick beef? Nothing, hopefully. Talking it up, man. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care. I don't know. It's not my problem. They both put out good music, but, you know, I just want Kendrick to just be around forever because right now he's the shit, dog. Like, he's always been the shit, but, like, we can't lose Kendrick, dog. We can't, dog. I'll be mad as fuck, dog. You know, Locke's still putting out albums. You know, Dipset's still putting out albums. You know what I mean? You know, they're still wearing suits. You know what I mean? Cameron's still wearing a suit. Jim Jones is still in the hood, walking around, not giving a fuck. Jewels is still, he's putting out movies. You know, French Montana putting out movies. You know, Bad Boy is going this way, but French is still there. Everything evolves. Everything evolves. Everybody's all caught up in Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, but Mayweather is still doing big, you know, beyond him. You just, like, let's just look at just the general population and not just the prominent, you're going to die and have a heart attack if something happens to somebody. Like, who cares, man? It's too much gosh darn money in America. Too many brilliant people for America. We're not going anywhere, dog. We'll never lose in a war. No matter what president we have, they're always going to be able to handle it. If Biden would be here, he would handle it if any drama came. We didn't end up in a war when he was here. Trump is coming in. He's not going to let anything get out of his control. Whoever, dog. Even if Kamala Harris would have won, she'd have been like, get out of here, dog. Yo, everybody in America, what do we got? We ready, dog. Blank, yeah. They ain't doing nothing, dog. They ain't doing nothing. See, what's wrong with people is you guys watch too many conspiracy YouTube videos. You know, you listen to people that spike your punch with drugs to make you spin and be the biggest addict in the galaxy, thinking somebody's gonna push a nuclear button. It's never going to happen. It's not. Nobody's gonna do that because the government will stop it before it happens. It's not. There's not going to be no great reset. The world's going to be around forever. It's just all stuff to make you go crazy and go do some drugs real fast so somebody can take advantage of you when you're passed out on the couch. Rumors of wars and death. We're here forever. And ever and ever and ever and ever. We will be here for. We are in America. You hear me talking Negroes? We in America. Or you're in a dumpster on the biggest binge in the world and you could have graduated if you just listened to me. It's called Scary Movie. The Hype. So do yourself a favor, watch that IG thing, and stand by. So I got some funny comedy. The song, British Knights, God Almighty, the maker of heaven and earth. In the communion of saints, okay, told me that the song British Knights, and I don't question God. When the voice of God saith, you, I got something to share with you. And it sounds like a goo, 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 I believe. Oh, I believe. As for me and Grandma, we believe. Sometimes Grandpa, too. British Knights had a song, and I was just singing it just a second ago before I turned on this video for this brief humorous medicine commercial break. Okay? I'll sing it to you. You people, you didn't come from the 80s like me. Okay? You did not come, and you didn't survive in the 90s like me. Okay? So Rick James is going to teach you a lesson. Because I'm Rick James, bitch. And now that I have put on this here wig, you believe that I'm rich, bitch. Because as for you and you heathens, you are the deceivers. And you are the biggest loser. And I am the stand-up comic. And you are the comedian. So when I say, damn, is she funny? You will say it with me. Or you are fire. You will believe. So it was a song for New Yorkers. Believe it or not. I couldn't believe it myself for one fragment of a second when I thought to myself, British Knights, the right foot where you get up on the right foot. And they used to do that like this. Like there, this was a thing that, somebody like joking, I forget which comic did it in the 90s. But I remember it when I think about it. That was something that they did for the BK, which was adapted from Motown when the people, they used to dance and they used to all dance at the same time, like a California Rage. The Temptations, they used to have those little, it's like a bebop thing. You don't remember the bebop, the shoebop, they used to do the thumb thing. But New Yorkers, or whoever came up with the song British Knights, get off on the right foot, get off on BK means when you're coming from upper Manhattan, there's this final stop where it's last call for not alcohol, but sober minds to get off and stay in Manhattan, or it'll literally go right into Brooklyn. And you won't see yourself cross the bridge, but the train will take you across this bridge. Okay? You won't even see it. Next thing you know, you'll be in Brooklyn when you come up out of the train and you're in Brooklyn. So get off on the right foot. Get off on BK means get off on Brooklyn. Means get off before you get to Brooklyn. Or when you get there, you're in for a big surprise because straight from Brooklyn, better known as Crooklyn, never taking shirts because Brooklyn's the borough. You will get robbed. You will get robbed because those Brooklyn kids don't play. It is a known, not best secret of any industry. I know because I used to work on Wall Street. I worked on the corner of John and Wall Street in New York at this company. It was a business firm called Global Skyline Incorporated. And what my job was as a downline associate,
was to help whoever my boss was establish themselves. So I just met on the 18th floor of this building on Wall Street in the morning. And then we came up with a plan on how to use cell phones, which we provided for people who got SSI and SSD. We provided it for them. You show your ID, you get a phone for free because your insurance covers it. But we got paid a check because it was part of the company plan. It was a policy. We got paid money to do it. Okay. Nobody does that for free. All right. You get the phone for free, but we get paid. So it was a conglomerate with Assurance Wireless cell phones. Okay. But the name of the company that I worked for was Global Skyline. And it was on Wall Street and a corporate building. It was one or two stops before the Brooklyn Bridge. You go any further, you're going to either cross a bridge on foot or you're going to get on a train to take you there. And that would be the F train. No, wait a second. The F train comes this way. That would be the A3, I think. I don't remember. There's a couple different A's, and the A's all go to downtown Manhattan. The F goes to Brooklyn or something like that. You got to ask somebody that is just a native New Yorker. It was just a job that I had when I was there trying to make it into the music industry. Well, not really trying. I was actually working in the music industry, but in a small little position called A&R, Artist and Report. So that's all. I was just like, promoting stuff with Hot 97. I was on their website, hot97.com. I was on MTV.com. It's a long time ago. But you don't remember in the 90s, there was a lot of great jingles, which is a melody and a song that went with every commercial for cereal, every commercial for any product that became a household name. It became a product because of what was known as a jingle. And jingles were invented by musicians who may have became famous, singers, rock and roll stars, country singers, or rappers, or maybe they just became ghostwriters for songs for Frosted Lucky Charms. They're magically delicious. Okay? And suddenly, like, you got $1,000,000. You come up with the right jingle and the right franchise wants to use it to sell their product, you could be a millionaire. You don't have to sell records. You could just, there's people that do that. And you're not even in what's known as the music industry. You're actually in what's known as the marketing business, the promotions business. There's people, they think about these ideas all the time. Like, we got to find somebody to make a jingle. And these jingles are still used on commercials, but it's in between football games and in between basketball games and sometimes radio commercials. But what happened to that? That's a good question for you to answer the next time you join me on Hotline Telebling Teleconference Communication, which is coming on tonight, podcast at 8 until 9. 412-609-2679. All right? Text me, I want in. And you can learn how to be a stunner like me. Mr. Rick James himself, Mr. Rich Bitch. Until then, I'm going to pack my stuff and get out of here. You know why? Because I may have the hair that make me look like I don't care. But you know what you are? Let me tell you what you are. You're magically delicious. And me, I'm the $1 billion snitch. So you know what makes me? You know what that makes me? I'm going to tell you what that makes me. Forget what it makes me. I'm going to tell you what it makes you. You're fired. Now get out of here before I bump you up. As we continue on, we got through my little, I showed my academic side. You better say that you've seen my athletic side, because if you don't, then, when you see the bowls come down like that, the styles come like that, you're gonna be surprised when you see me TKO somebody for 200 grand at my fight if the person actually shows up to a sparring event. Sucker. But now it's back to the artistic side for a minute. You know, I recorded a song the other week. I forgot what it was called. That's how important it was to me. It didn't go on one of the two albums that I just released. Those are just, you know, some stuff that I recycled back into the mixture just to let you know I'm still here on the music scene. You know, until further notice when I graduate, and then I give you the full throttle of the lightning in the bottle, which is the swagger in this Latino and brown Mick Jagger. Okay, so anyhow, not gonna be corny. I downloaded this beat and, you know, uploaded it to BandLab. Well, here, let me take it off of Bluetooth so you can hear it.
Isaiah, you made this?
So I hit the feather, and you can see no lyrics there. Okay. Let him down right to it. This is inspiration, but we're in the library, so I'm gonna have to put it back on Bluetooth, and I'm gonna write it real quick. Yeah, yeah, yo. About you. You only think about yourself. You only think about yourself, don't you? You're the type. You're the type of person. You're the type. You're the type. You're the type. You're the type to be like. You're the type to be like. You're the type to be like. You're the type to be like the nigga. You're the type of the. You're the type to be like that. You like the nigga. You like that nigga. You like that nigga so fake. The type to be like that nigga so fake. Nigga so fake. You're a hater. You're a hater, and I'm an innovator. So that's what I got started. We're gonna pause now. I'm saying, come up with it. I don't want you to just be like 20 minutes into this, still waiting for me to drop it. All right, so we're about to pick up where we left off. I just wrote this just real quick. I don't know if you could see it, you know, but if you can't, you know, you could listen because I'm about to recite it to the beat that you heard just a minute ago. So. Yo, 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 you're the type to be like, that nigga's so fake. Yo, listen, you're the type to be like, that nigga's so fake. You're just a hater, and I'm too innovative for you, not creative, no swag, having swag jacking haters jealous of my flak jacket. You're the backpacker, I'm a baggage handler, and you're the lost baggage that your girl wanna lose. If you catch a blues clues, you can steal my IP, but you can't make my shoes, cause your heart ain't in it, so you're not authentic, and my heart been splintered, so the cross I carry. If you wanna help me, closed mouths are not ready. Go.
If you wanna help me, closed mouths are not ready. Gotta pledge allegiance to the flag that I carry. Baby, heavy weighs the crown. You are not Shakespeare, I'm too witty, unpredictable. Yeah, petty, I'm heavy metal like Figaro. Yeah, fairies. I'm the type of individual who scares smooth criminals who almost dropped their baby off the balcony. It's pitiful that you don't recognize a full-fledged general, but you can get the testicles and not a license for the medical that I can help you sign off on. I'm impeccable. Yeah, in the twilight zone, it ain't credible. In the twilight zone, I'm too impeccable. I be sign off on the blues clues. These are blues clues for you to get a clue. You can steal my IP, but you can't wear my shoes, cause your heart ain't in it, so you're not authentic. And my heart been splintered, so the cross I carry. If you wanna help me, close mouths are not ready. Gotta pledge allegiance to the flag that I carry. To the flag that I carry. Blues. These are blues clues. You can steal my IP, but you can't wear my shoes, cause your heart ain't in it, so you're not authentic. And my heart been splintered, so the cross I carry. If you wanna help me, closed mouths are not ready. Gotta pledge allegiance to the flag that I carry, baby. Heavy with the crown. You are not Shakespeare, too witty, unpredictable. Yeah, petty, I'm heavy metal like Figaro, Figaro. Yeah, fairies. I'm a type of individual, smooth Smooth, smooth criminal. Smooth criminal on breaks. Smooth criminal on beat breaks. Put me in the box if your shit eats tapes. I'm a smooth criminal on beat breaks. Never put me in. Never, never put me in your box if your shit eats tapes. Yeah. What up, yo? Grand Rising, everybody. Yo, you know what it is. Stony, hoorah. It's Prince. Woo.
Yo, that's Officer Corleone. Yo, self-employed forensics Officer Corleone. I'm here at Starbucks. This is today's assignment. If you was on Instagram and you saw me hit everybody with an email blast or a messenger, bear with me. Like, sometimes when a messenger actually sends stuff by itself, but I just did actually send a messenger blast. So adopt a virtual highway. I'm gonna start a page, and what that is, I don't know why people do that, but it could be along the lines of what I'm thinking. So if not, you adopt the highway, which means you're willing to drive down highways, and like you're not gonna like adopt a highway, but you're willing to drive down a highway. And if you see any random person on the side of the road, you don't ask them if you could pick them up. You don't give them a ride. You ask them what are they doing on the side of the road, and would they like you to call the police for them? So the police can transport them to maybe the next town if they're hitchhiking, if they're a runaway train, a runaway kid, right? Or somebody who was kidnapped who ran away from maybe a trucker or somebody who could be a police officer, or what's known as the quote-unquote mystery van. Stranger things have happened. So you never know. People get kidnapped by people that look like me. They get kidnapped by people that look like anybody, you, whoever. You don't have to look like a kidnapper to kidnap somebody. So that's what we do. We adopt a highway, and you just go. And if somebody needs a ride, you call the police for them, or you offer to call their family for them. You don't let them use your phone. You call for them. You don't let them get in your car. And the whole time, you wear a body cam, so as to there's no confusion that you were trying to pick them up. Okay? That's adopting a highway. And you never know. You might come across somebody who's a missing person. Okay? So Lori Page, that's who my squad is dedicating, our adopt a virtual highway to, but also Tamara Perez. She actually came first and then her. You know what I'm saying? So, but both of them. One is for either me and then someone who's actually wants to be like a partner with me in the future, that's willing to go through the schooling and the police academy and all of that, the rites of passage and not jump through over any steps, then yeah, potentially you could be a partner with me, you know what I'm saying? So, we're going to recite this. That's all. This is just really quickly. I'm not going to take up too much time because, all right, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to hang that up. So I got all women today, you know what I mean? So it's just 3, okay? Missing woman, wanted woman, okay? Usually the people that I look for are men because men are more dangerous, okay? And I like the bad news and then the good news. Not that women that are dangerous are good news, but I'd rather prepare myself to be able to handle somebody dangerous that's a man than somebody that's a woman first, because it's just common sense. You don't have to be a retard, okay? Pardon my French, but that's what I do. So again, like, that's not really my interest. My interest is to be prepared for the worst, but to expect the best. I'm not going to school to be an infantry. I'm going to school to get a higher promotion, to matriculate and be what I am now in a police department, if possible. But if not, I'll settle for dispatcher. I'll settle for Port Authority, like parking enforcement. You know what I mean? Like, I don't mind. Like, I'm just doing this so I can become a lawyer. But also, on any given Sunday, people bother me. I make money. People bother me. They want my iPhone 12, okay? So I got to use a bootleg phone. I have an iPhone 12. I don't carry it with me. It's not even activated. I just keep it for a rainy day. You know what I'm saying? I've been had that. They want my MacBook. They want my Nikons. They want my flak jacket. So this is, believe it or not, this is the reason why a lot of people go to the military or police academy. And I don't even have a problem with somebody going to boot camp and not even enlisting, because that's actually smart. You know that, right? Like, you get a set of skills that you don't end up fighting people, because it teaches you a lot of psychology. In the military, you learn a lot of psychology. You learn all psychology and 1% body. But that's what I'm there for. You know what I mean? I'm not even in the military now, but if I decide to do anything like that, that's what I'll do it for. Notice I said anything like that. Okay, so we got this. Okay, it's just the proof of where I work. That's just my job right now. This is what I do. This is what makes me a forensics officer, and a couple other things. Okay, but I'm passing these out too to encourage guys to not be a jerky boy. Okay, it's an amateur MMA bout contract. You have a problem with a guy, you settle it in the boxing room. Or you don't say nothing if you don't got nothing good to say, because that doesn't prove nothing. Okay? This is for anybody who wants to be a promoter for me in my boxing events. I have more than one promoter. You want to join my promoters? I could pay you. You know what I'm saying? It's not, if you're not going to win, I'm not going to pay you up front. I'm going to pay you after I win. Okay? That's how most boxers do that we're just starting out. We don't have money to pay you up front. But it's a good volunteering program. You can be like, yo, I was running with, Prince Rao, Don Corleone, whatever he calls himself, Fu Rao. I was running with him. Like, he runs with a lot of people. Now I'm a promoter for somebody else because I promoted for him. I was there at the fight, and then you get to meet people that are actually making money. You could quit for working for me. You could work for somebody else. I'm not going to hold you. I just ask that you try and find somebody to replace you, because I'm trying to come up in the world. And don't leave me stranded. If I open doors for you, at least try to open doors for me. Okay? It's my drug and alcohol counselor certification. Okay? Do you need to be a phlebotomist and make money? Do you need anything more than a couple month certification? No. There's people at our home health aides. They literally have exactly what I have. Okay? You don't need an LPN or none of that. You just need certification at home health aide, somebody to believe you, and you're in. So this is what we're doing. This is productivity. So the reason why I'm showing you this, because as you when you're serious about studying with me, or being a sparring partner or just hanging with me and not just trying to hanging nearest me to condescend me to make me look like the sidewalk so you can feel like you're like, the Duke of Earl and all the princes and poppers in the land. Okay? When you really want to make a change in Pittsburgh and you don't mind other people doing the same thing with you and not try to be the only star in the sky in the galaxy. Okay? As if that's possible. We're going to need a press kit from you so we could go to the library together if anybody wants to do that today. I'm on my way there right now. I'm just kind of waiting for some money for some coffee. But somebody said they was going to send it to me. So we could go to the library and we could print it up, a press kit, you know what I'm saying? I could show you how to organize your stuff. You don't really need a lot, and that's it, you know what I mean? Bang, bang, bang. We on our way. So this is what I want your press kit to look like. And we're gonna go, knock on doors, not literally, but you know what I mean. You know how to do it in these days and time, and just see if we could, get some people to take a break from, partying and talk about some serious stuff, and then party, sociably with, people that are like us, which is, just regular, everyday Main Street people. Okay. This is you just start your journey. You could be in the Navy, man. Shit, man. Don't forget to thank me, though. I'm not a paid recruiter. I'm a regular Pittsburgher. There you go. Let's do it. All right. So that's my little assignment for the day. You got the number? Splash.
Greetings and salutations. This is Chief Security Officer Don Corleone of American Muscle Security LLC in conjunction with stackbooksfoundation LLC. In conjunction with Parent Group Confidential LLC, salute to everybody that's with us during Operation Reforce. This is Operation Get Well USA, and I'm your host, Estania Guard, badge number 11516-4672, bodyguard, whistleblower, watchdog, search party coordinator, means special police. I did say police. Do not disregard self-employed forensics officer, forensics lab technician, self-employed marine biologist means special police. I did say police. It's Thursday, January 9th, 2025. I'm in the Carnegie Public Library at Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, for serious study partners only. 412-609-2679, stackbooksfoundation@gmail.com. All I do is study and work. That's it. When I'm not volunteering, hanging up signs for America's Most Wanted in nature, or studying alphabet killers by watching license plates and correlating, and watching drug trafficking, without attempting to impede and the law enforcement officers in the area and what they're doing. I work at DoorDash, and I also am a self-employed musician, business manager, producer, security guard, road manager, barber, boxing instructor, Special Olympics coach. I teach CPR. I teach sign language to deaf kids and deaf adults. I do a lot of stuff, but tour guide, so much. But we're gonna get the show on the road. Mostly these days and times, it's really important that people are getting their citizenship. You're a foreign exchange student, you got to figure out if you want to stay here or not. All right. President Trump is coming into office. He means business. He's a good president for the world climate right now and what we got going on. You know what I mean? I did vote for Kamala Harris, but either or will do just fine with me. We just gotta know, like, are you like for the initiative of the United States of America, or are you for the initiative of somebody else? I stated my face a long time ago. Operation Get Well USA began a long time ago, and that is to, answer to the call, make America great again, to answer to the call, fund the police. That started years ago. I stamped it. I was like, yeah, hell yeah, I'm with it. Not stamp it as in helped it come into effect, but everybody I voted for locally supports Fund the Police. I voted for local Pittsburgh politicians, Pennsylvania politicians. Besides the president, I vote for judges. I vote for city council members to become judges and higher and up. Everybody I vote for is Fund the Police. I started my own program, No Badge Left Behind. You can go on Facebook and check it out. But we're here to help people actually get their green card, get their citizenship. If you've been in the country for a while and I look at you and I could tell you're 100% America, heck yeah. Well, I'll help you, with the paperwork that you need to process that. I'm not a lawyer. I'm a legal aid, not really a paralegal, but I'm studying my PA bar exam, etc. But also I help people write scholarship proposals. We got some nice paperwork here from the library that I'm going to run down the line with you. But first, I just want to say all cars are welcome to ride along. I see no urgency. I feel no emergency. I am GUARD guard. I declare world peace. I believe everything that's going on right now is rumors of wars and death. And I believe America has always been number one, will always be number one when it comes to the global market. We got the most millionaires and billionaires in our country. We got the most brilliant scientists working on stuff, inventors, patent owners. We got Elon Musk on America, Team America. Everybody that's a billionaire Forbes list is from America and for America, and all of our allies support us in everything that we do from what I pay attention to. But we're going to help you get some scholarships going. All right, so these are some scholarships tips. You can find this in the Carnegie Public Library. Scholarship tips, PA, FAFSA, go. Okay. Q&As. Scholarships, unlike student loans, don't have to be repaid. This is the Think Like a Cop series. Earlier we had Donnie Talks. We talked a little bit. This is the Think Like a Cop series. This is thinking like a business manager, okay? If you need a business manager, you contact me. I'll give you the number again after I'm done reading this and going through the introduction to the show, okay? Scholarships, unlike student loans, don't have to be repaid, okay? And can reduce the cost of college. The more free money from scholarships and grants that you find to help pay for college, the less you'll have to borrow. I do not own the IP in this video. I'm just somebody that's, a go-to guy, letting you know where to go and where to find everything from career links to libraries to warming shelters to warming centers to whatever you need to find if you're out of state, out of city college student. Eligibility. Students who apply for scholarships must meet specific eligibility requirements and will be competing against other applicants. Okay. So this is a way to get money aside from a grant. A grant you apply for, you don't have to pay it back. A loan you apply for, you do have to pay it back. But depending on the loan you took out, they might not want it back right away, and they might not want it back in such an abundance. Okay. A scholarship you do not have to pay back, but this is something that's rewarded to you based on something that you did that's considered a performance award. So it could be a letter or an essay. Pardon me. You could have wrote an essay. You could have competed in something like a knowledge bowl. You could compete in something athletic, like who knows, like some competition. But we're going to go through it and see what the scholarship tips are according to the writers of this piece of paper, which is FIA, PA, FAFSA, and Pennsylvania School Counselors Association, Pennsylvania Department of Education. Students who apply for scholarships must meet specific eligibility requirements and will be competing against other applicants. Scholarship eligibility may be based on any combination of criteria, including residency, that's state, that's county, that's town, in which the student lives, affiliation with community or religious organizations. Okay, so you could be a church member, you could be a mosque, or you could be a practicing Jew, a member of a synagogue. You could be a Taoist, Buddhist, whatever. It doesn't specify religious organization, but we're looking for something that America, that Pittsburgh considers not here, but all the way here. Okay? Like that. Okay? We need you 12 o'clock here. Okay? So, if you don't make this stuff up, you can read it yourself there. I'll give you a minute to sit there and read it. See what you see. Okay. I'm not going to put words in the paper that aren't there. I'm going to read it exactly, word for word, jot for tittle, as best as my ability. Okay. Extracurricular activities, including community service or clubs. So this is like what I'm doing with, hold on a second. part of me is, let me give you a little public speaking tip. I'm still working on it because I have what's known as the speech impediment. But instead of saying, hold on a second, bear with me for a moment, it would be more, I mean, when we're talking to each other, our student age group, we could say, hold on a second. But when you're speaking in a court of law, you're presenting something, or you're presenting something to an academic advisor, somebody, way up there like that. Bear with me for a moment. When we have the attention of a crowd or something like that, your garçon or whatever. Okay. So this would be known as extracurricular activity. This is also known as community service and a club, because when you read my statement of the organizer for Stack Books Foundation, you'll see that I specified I wanted to do this before I came, which is that kind of extracurricular activity, community service, and extracurricular activity. I have, debate teams, my breakdancing, and my drama club, etc. So the drama club is extracurricular activity. The community service is hanging his signs up, okay, etc. Okay, and clubs, okay. Degree, program, major, field of study, financial need, essays, academic, athletic, or artistic achievements. So putting out a record is an artistic achievement. Letters of recommendation, these are all things that fall under the categories of what makes you eligible to receive a scholarship. It may not be a $10,000 scholarship. It may not be a $1,000 scholarship. The lowest I've seen is $500, but usually it's $1,000 and up. Searching. Many high school students begin searching for scholarships during their junior year. However, there are scholarship opportunities for younger students, as well as current college students. So we're talking about people like me and you. Scholarship information is available from these resources: high school website, high school counselor's office or online portal, local library, college or university, national scholarship sites or search sites. I'm laughing because of when I'm talking about serious stuff, like I try to emphasize and give a tone and a flair, like I'm talking like my pastor, like a professor. High school counselor, online portal. That's how they talk. I'm just trying to get their flair. I want it to be 12 o'clock. I don't want it to be. Okay. So, apply for scholarships. Determine that all eligibility requirements are met. Submit all required application materials by the deadline. Find out if applicants are notified of the results. That's how my pastor talks. He keeps you on the edge of your seat. He's not here in Pittsburgh, but he's somewhere. I forget what church it is. I think it's in Iowa or something, but it's very seat-gripping church. Every minute you're there, you want to stand up and like do the wave, but that's not what churches do. You just say, "Yeah, by Jove, he got it." Amen.
Pulaski. I hereby pledge the correctional officer's creed. All right, pat yourself on the back if you brought it with you today, if you kept it with you today. All right, I hereby pledge to speak sparingly, to act not to argue. Hold on a second. To be an authority through personal presence, to correct without nagging, to speak with the calm voice of certainty, to see everything, to know what is significant and what not to notice, to be neither insensitive to distress, nor so distracted by pity as to miss what must elsewhere be seen, to do neither that which is unkind, nor self-indulgent in its misplaced charity, never to obey the impulse of tongue lash, that silent insolence which in times past could receive the lash, to be both firm and fair, to know I can, cannot be fair simply by being firm, nor firm simply by being fair, to support the reputation of associates and confront them without anger should they stand short of professional conduct, to reach for the knowledge of continuing mysteries of human motivation, to think always to think, to be dependable, first to my charges and my associates, and thereafter to my duty as employee and citizen, to keep fit, to keep forever alert, to listen to what is meant as well as what is said with words and with silences, to expect respect from my charges and my superiors, yet never to abuse one for the abuses from the other for 8 hours each working day, to be an example of the person I could be at all times, to increase the notice on A.S.C.A.P, to cultivate patience under boredom and calm during confusion, to understand the why of every order I take or give, to hold freedom among the highest values, though I deny it to those I guard, to deny it with dignity, that in my example they find no reason to lose their dignity, to be prompt, to be honest with all who practice deceit, that they not find in me excuse for themselves, to privately face down my fear, that I not signal it, to privately cool my anger, that I not displace it on others, to hold in confidence that which I see and hear, which by the telling could harm or humiliate to no good purpose, to keep inside my to keep my outside problems outside, to leave inside that which is stay inside, to do my duty. Bob Barrington, Rikers, JATC, Entrance Hall features a 1995 mural of the CO Creed, authored by late Professor Robert Barrington of North Michigan University. The creed was widely distributed by the International Association of Correctional Officers, the above New York Correction History Society. Recreation uses the antique scroll from an image of the inmate painted mural to frame the text that has been adapted by various correctional agencies. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I love my flag, my beautiful flag, my shiny red, white, and blue. I love my flag, my beautiful flag, my shiny red, white, and blue.
12:40. It's noon. We're in Oakland right now. I'm servicing Atwood Forest, so I'm forensics. It's Friday. January 10th. 12:45 p.m. Friday, January 10th. And it's Officer Corleone, Forensics Lab. And I pledge allegiance to every entity, whether it's a religious entity or a government entity or any form of Good Samaritan. Whoever's looking for Lori Page, I'm with you. I hereby pledge to speak sparingly, to act, not to argue, to be an authority through personal presence, to correct without nagging, to speak. Hold on a second. To speak with the calm voice of certainty. To see everything. To know what is significant and what not to notice, to be neither insensitive to distress, nor so distracted by pity as to miss what must elsewhere be seen. To do neither that which is unkind, nor self-indulgent in its misplaced charity. Never to obey the impulse to tongue lash, that silent insolence which in times past could receive the lash. To be both firm and fair, to know I cannot be fair simply by being firm, nor firm simply by being fair, to support the reputation of associates, to confront them without anger, should they stand short of professional conduct, to reach for the knowledge of the continuing mysteries of human motivation, to think, always to think, to be dependable first to my charges and associates, and thereafter to my duty as employee and citizen, to keep fit, to keep ever alert, to listen to what is meant as well as what is said with words and with silences. Okay? To expect respect from my charges and my superiors, yet never to abuse the one for abuses from the other. For 8 hours each working day, to be an example of the person I could be at all times. To increase the notice on this act, to cultivate patience under boredom and calm during confusion, to understand the why of every order I take or give. To hold freedom among the highest values. Hold on a second. To hold freedom among the highest values, though I deny it to those I guard. To deny it with dignity, that in my example they find no reason to lose their dignity. To be prompt, to be honest with all who face deceit, that they not find in me excuse for themselves, to privately face down, face down my fear that I not signal it, to privately cool my anger that I not displace it on others, to hold in confidence what I see and hear, which by the telling could harm or humiliate to no good purpose. To leave my outside problems outside, to do my duty. Or to leave inside that which should stay inside, to do my duty. Bob Barrington. Okay. Hold on a second. Rikers JATC. Entrance hall features a 1995 mural of the CO Creed authored by the late Professor Bob Barrington of North Michigan University. The creed was widely distributed by the International Association of Correctional Officers. The above New York Correction History Society Recreation uses the antique scroll from an image of the inmate painted mural to frame the text that has been adapted by various correctional officer agencies.